Exclamation, everybody, and welcome to Foretales. It is by Alchemy and published by Dear Villagers. It is a demo right now out on Steam during Steam Next Fest, and it's slated for some sort of release soon, apparently, summer 2022, they say. So see how that goes. It's a deck building. Is it really deck building? It's not really even deck building. It's more of a card based choose your adventure sort of thing. Kind of, not really. It's hard to place it. It's really just a deck. You have a deck of cards and several decks that you deal with, and you have to make decisions based on the cards that you've been dealt. It's an interesting concept. It has some problems, I would say, just from what I've played. I've played about 70 minutes of the game. So I'm actually going to pick up well after the intro, because the game takes a very long time to get started. It just, I mean, it's not even so much of a tutorial as it is more of it takes a while to just find some sort of footing. So I'm going to try and skip ahead a little bit here, and we're going to continue a game that I'm already have in progress. This is right after the intro, which is basically called the Relic. So I've played that, and the idea of the game is that you find this relic and it fragments your understanding, you being Volpain here, fragments your understanding of events that are taking place in the world, and you get sort of premonitions of things that are happening. Essentially, sorry, that came on fast. Essentially, what's happening here is you've got your buddy here has been thrown in prison. If you don't get to him in 2 turns, quote unquote, that you're never going to be able to recover him. But at the same time, there's going to be some onslaught on your hometown by the militia, so you're kind of balancing what you got to do here. All of these will lead to things that you got to make sure you pick correctly here, so you can prevent these catastrophes from happening. And all of these are basically packets of missions. You think of them as packets of cards, essentially. They're location cards. So we're gonna do the prisoner, which I failed at when I did this the first time, but we're gonna see if I do a little bit better this time around. So the theft of the relic didn't exactly go as planned. Leo's in jail, and Lady Cattell is out for revenge. Volpain needs to break his friend out. Alright, and that's all we have access to right now. He's got 7 health. He's got 1 damage, which is really rough, but it is what it is. We got 10 skill cards in our deck. Alright. Find a way in. The city watch is holding Leo in the local jail. Volpain needs to find a way inside to rescue him. Time for prison break. So, you actually start out the game with both
Leo's
you...
locked up in there. There has to be a way in.
I have a friend in there. I was hoping I'd be able to pay him a visit. Visit? What you think this is? A bloody retirement home? Perhaps it could come to some sort of an arrangement? Perhaps if you arrange for me to get 5 gold, I'll forget I ever saw you. Where am I going to get that from? Okay.
Now you're in for it.
Alright, so we'll put 30 minutes on the clock, but I'll probably go till we fail here, which I'm likely to do. So you start out the game with you and your companion Leo, and things are a little bit easier because you both have skill cards that get dealt out as you use them. Doing it just as the one character makes it particularly difficult. So basically I have to describe what's going on here. This is the exploration deck. What happens is it deals out a number of exploration cards, depending on the world that you're in. Sometimes 4, sometimes 6. There's a potential that there will be guards thrown on there on some of them, as you can see here. You have to deal with the guards. Now the game sort of encourages you to not kill, to try to deal with guards in different ways, but ultimately you do end up having to murder a few people here and there. It seems like it's almost inevitable at times. Kind of a little bit unfortunate, as we'll get into a bit here. And then you've got inventory. So I've got 1 money here, and then I got 2 food, 1 fame, which is, you get good deeds, you'll get fame for it sometimes. Grim, theft, murder, violence in general. And the liar, which is the artifact that we stole. And I haven't found a use for that yet. There's also a rest deck. The rest allows you to recover some of your skill cards. So as you use your skill cards, they're like thrown in the discard pile. You can't use them again until you rest up. But resting up often costs something. So in this case, you can just rest. But if I were to spend 6 gold, I would get a throwing knife, a healing bomb, and a lockpick, and recover 3 skill cards. Otherwise, I would only get 3 skill cards per adventure. Right? And then there are other ones like this one over here. If you rest up, you could spend 3 Grim scare away local bandits or recover up to 3 skill cards per adventure, or you'll recover 3 skill cards per adventure, but a squad of bandits will join the search party. And I'll talk about search party in a moment. And then you got extortion over here. Pay 3 money to drive away some bandits, or recover up to 3 skill cards, or recover up to 3 skill cards, and they join the search party. All these things, there's a lot going on here, and I'm trying to explain as much as I can here. But basically, resting is just like in any RPG. You're trying to rest and recover your skills. Not necessarily. I don't know if you recover health. So you at least recover your skill cards over here and left to use to take on location stuff and various other things. That said, there's also a search party deck up here, and what'll happen there is basically every so often, whenever a new location comes out, some locations will draw enemies from the search party deck, and then those will become guards or tokens on there. So that's where that is, and then this is the graveyard where your enemies go, and that kind of thing. So stuff like that. And of course, food is important for a couple things, but it's also usually important for resting as well, and health and all that stuff. But anyway, we've got marketplace, we've got an apple merchant, we've got an old well, and we got a prison entrance. And you gotta do things in order to, like, obviously the prison entrance is where we need to get into, but in order to do that, they want 5 money. We only have 1. So we're gonna have to try to find a way to make money. Now, obviously I could sell some food, and that'll give me 2, as you can see the blue outlines there. That'll give me 2 money, both from the apple merchant and from the marketplace. I could also use my fame on the apple merchant to get 2 more food. I'm gonna do that, and he'll just give it to me for free because I'm famous. You see that gets rolled back into the exploration deck, and then another card is picked out, and then this deck just rolls over. You can see, like, he's now at the end of the deck. We're gonna have this card and then this card. This becomes important when you're trying to get a particular outcome in order to help with, what you're trying to do here. In this case, I want to sell food in order to get money, but once I sell this food here, it's only going to sell the 2, and then the marketplace is going to go back into the exploration deck, and then I got to deal with everything else going on. So you have to sort of plan ahead, sort of, about what you're doing. That said, I can also give 1 food to them, I'll get 2 fame from them.
You know what they say. Share and share alike.
And that'll help for when the other guy comes back
Something
around.
tells me these chaps aren't here to discuss pickpocketing techniques.
Alright, and then we got some more bandits because we got Suspicious Street, which has that token on it, which will usually spawn some enemies. So, drink that. We got the Old Well, which I could throw some money in and get some fame, but I don't want that. I need the money to pay this guy off. So what I'm going to want to do is go sell 2 of these. And that'll give me 2 gold.
I think you may have been ripped off there.
So there's a lot of dialogue that happens between your character and other people as well. I kind of some of that I wish was like actually voice acted, but I can see that it's inconsequential dialogue, and it's flavor dialogue, but at the same time, I kind of like could do without some of it. So scamps. We have block kids. They give me. If I give them money, also spend a fame there, and that will give me a street urchin as a reward. I'll tag along, as long as you won't get in the way. Right, and our apple merchant's back, and so he's got the street urchin has 1 attack, 1 HP, no armor. Basically, just is there to distract people. Have him in our back pocket, so then I can go and do this and get some more food.
An army marches on its stomach. The same goes for a band of thieves and weirdos.
You got the little narrator doing his thing from time to time, which is nice. So we have a small crowd here, which I can, if I want to, I could use like nimble hands and stuff, which would give me 2 gold I need. Also give me, 1 negative thing because of theft, but you know what? Probably worth it. So do that.
Oh, I never suspected a thing.
Yeah, that gets us to the 5 that we need to pay off the guard at the prison there. So we'll give him that. Ready to make it worth my while? Here, just a quick visit, no trouble. Stop talking and get inside. We never met here. Hold on, Leo, I'm coming. Okay, and so that basically concludes this region. We'll move on to the next region, which will be inside the prison there. So what I could do, I could continue right away, or I could try to build up some more stuff here. I don't think anything else I really need at the moment. And I managed to do that without using too many cards. So let's just go and continue. We got to free Leo from his cell. Now that he's inside the prison, Volpe needs to find Leo's cell and break him out of it. Okay. Prison was dark, dank, and foreboding. Mournful wails echoed down the grimy corridors. Guards prowled the halls, eager to dish out a beating to anyone who stepped out of line. Slipping by unnoticed wasn't going to be easy. Alright, got search party cards.
I'd recognize that tail anywhere.
Pain in here. Coming, old friend.
What have you done this time? Now who could that be?
Hey, whoever you are, over here. Give me out of this cell to make it worth your while. Oh yeah? How's that exactly? I get the sense you're not supposed to be here, yes? No little magic trick that could throw the guards off your tail.
Oh, this could get messy.
Okay, so all the search party cards were used up. Yeah, an agitated prison quarter. Escaped prisoner. Looks like someone escaped their cell. They may seem to have the guards in panic. Guards room. So we might be able to get something from the guards room. It looks like we'd only be able to get food from them. It's not really a need. We have Leo's cell here. We got a guard token. What kind of guards do we have? We've got a... Here we go. Rookie of the Watch. We have a Bell of the Watch, which adds a constable to the search party every round. And a Burly Guard. Would engage them now. Is there anything else I can grab? We do have the cry for help here, but under can't use anything against them right now. And my rest deck is different, so I could have puttered around earlier when I showed you that rest deck where I could have gotten lock picks and stuff, and I know from doing this before that if I had puttered around and got the money needed for the lock picks and things, that I could have got this fake out of his cell here, but he doesn't necessarily help, so that's why I didn't bother with it. At least that he didn't the time that I did. What's our rest? 3 fame. Spend 3 fame to avoid problems with local guards and recover 3 skill cards. Whole group of cards. Okay. So prison quarter. I guess we're just gonna have to try to take them. How this works. Let's engage. So, when you start a battle, which isn't really, it's not really a battle. When you start an encounter, you have the option of resolving the encounter without fighting. So, as long as I don't do anything that's aggressive, like most of these cards over here are, the guards won't attack. Now, up here it says that the guards have 2.5 morale. So, morale is important in that if that goes to 0, any remaining guards will leave. So, each one of these guards contributed something to the morale. And here's one of those things where one of the things I think that's missing from the UI here is telling me how much morale was introduced by each of the guards, because it would be very useful. Like, you figure this guy probably introduced 1 or 2, right? And this guy I know just from playing this only does half, right? So these two probably did 1 each, and then this guy did half. But that said, it's not necessarily set in stone, and it would be nice if you knew at a glance who contributed what to that, or at least if I could click on this and it would tell me. Just because that's the one you want to target some of your efforts on and get this morale down as quickly as you can. But in any event, what we can do, so we don't have any fame. It would have taken 2 fame for us to convince them to go away and 1 for the other guy. We do have 2 grim, which we can use on this one dude, and he will be frightened enough of us. Oh, he was 1. See, like I said, normally he's 0.5, but he was 1 that time. So yeah, I wish they would tell you that. Okay. So we frightened him away, so that's good. What else can we do? I don't think we have much else. I can, obviously I can rob this dude, but there's no real need for me to do that. Can't pay them off because I don't have any gold. So looks like we might have to just go and fight. Looks like that will be the case. Let's get our street urchin in here. And yeah, there's not much else I can do. So I can do the peppery diversion, which will be enough to get me to be able to kill this guy off, because it'll stun them. So what's that? That's also offensive, so that will put us into battle mode.
Volpan? Those are guards of the watch.
Oh, there we go. Oh, he had two. He had 1.5.
What, giving up so soon?
That guy just ran. There we go. Cool. All right, well, that worked out. We only had to kill the one guy, and we didn't take any damage. So I stunned them. Leo, are you okay? Can we talk when I'm out of here? Look for the warden. She must have the key. All right. So now we gotta go looking for the warden. So what I'm going to do is I need to clear out this, like, a card here, because I got to see where else we're headed. Is this the warden? Yeah, prison warden. So we have, like, 3 cards that we need to get to in order to get to the prison warden. So, in order to do that, I need to play a card. A skill card. And, yeah, that means you gotta, basically you're discarding things that, you know, you're not going to need for a battle, hopefully. So eavesdrop will get rid of that. Brings this one up. Did not bring any enemies with it. Good. We get nimble hands, which I want to hold on to because I want to use nimble hands to get the keys off the warden. And so we'll do eavesdrop again, because I don't think it's going to be useful otherwise. Alright, then we gotta get through here. Guards room. Diversion. I have a couple nimble hands cards. I could use that and I'll get actually some food out of here, so let's do that.
Oh, I'd say they don't need the calories,
Corridor. Alright, so the warden's going to be the next one. That's good. Gotta get past. Got 2 solidarity of the week. I don't. But may have to. The only thing I can do is. Well, I don't want to do that. Let's do this. Just get rid of that. Bring the warden up.
Oh, good afternoon, officer. You are gonna fight that thing? Hold on. I need to grab some popcorn. The guards want to fight?
Alright.
Let's give them one.
So, guards be prepared. We've had word of an intruder in the area. See what we got here. We got the warden. And then we've got captain of the watch. Okay. So what I want to be able to do is pickpocket the warden and then get out of the encounter. I don't know if there's a way to like retreat from an encounter once you start one. I was kind of looking at that last time, but we'll see here. Let's do can we I guess we're gonna rest up. There's gonna be a small troop of guards added to the search party. We're gonna do that.
Enough resting. Let's get back to it.
All right. So now I guess we're as good as we're gonna get on this. So I guess we're gonna try this. Gauge. There
much
was
do
2.5
you
and
think it would
1.5.
take for them to, you know?
Hmm. 3 fame to get rid of him. Gonna be a problem. Let's do nimble hands. That gets me Leo Cell Key and a lockpick. I'll do nimble hands again just for the sake of argument. Get 2 gold out of it, which is not enough to pay him off. We needed 3 money to pay him off, and I only got 2. Somebody realized what I was going to do there. Let's food. Grim. And then you can see there, it gives you like a little symbol that's going to start combat. Now, if I could. You can always start combat doing that as well, but I kind of wish I could like use the pepper and then run away. Because I'm only going to do 1 damage. And then these cards will actually, I think they up my damage by 1, but then they also start combat. Which is unfortunate. So, and this really brings us to, I think, the problem that I really have with this game is that it really doesn't give you choice. They've tried their best to like give you some choice, but at the end of the day, you really don't have very much in the way of player agency and the player being able to choose a better path, right? It's like they've basically thrown all this illusion of choice at you and then giving you really nothing, no alternative. Which is the most, I think, the most frustrating thing about it, because this would be really great if you actually, like, if I actually had a way to, hey, I got the key already I was looking for. Why can't I just sneak away, right? Like I'm a street thief, right? Like I'm a thief class. These guys haven't engaged me yet, so why can't I just, right? Why am I locked into? Why don't I have a card that allows me to do dead sneaking away? You know what I mean? It's just stuff like that it kind of makes the game particularly frustrating, because this is like they're telling you have choices and then they're not giving you choices. You know what I mean? And it's not even like an RNG thing either. This is still early in the game, right? It's just the build of this character. I haven't had an opportunity to like build out any more of the deck or anything, right? So clearly they're thinking, oh, you're going to be able to tackle this. They've put the idea into place that you can like solve this multiple ways, but then they don't actually give you the ability to solve it multiple ways. Because I know for a fact, like, if I brought a lockpick in with me, sure, I could have lockpicked Leo's cell. I don't know if it actually lets you lockpick his cell or not. But you still have to go through this encounter before you can even get to his cell. And second of all, using the lockpick on the other person's cell doesn't really, like, I think they tag along, but they're not a combat unit as far as I know. They didn't really help as far as fighting off these guys. So that's the that's the unfortunate part of this. I've got memory diversion, so I can kind of like I can make so that they can't go after me for 2 turns, in theory. But that's not really going to help because they're both doing 1 damage, right? So, like, that doesn't help me really at all. So, like, I'm basically at a point where I'm just completely stuck, right? And I feel like a game like this should not put you in a position where you're just completely stuck. I feel like that if you really want your players to have choice, I should be able to get myself unstuck from it. And yet, it's not possible. And I think that's a bad design, honestly.
What? You're taking on the gods of the Watch?
Yep. Alright, so do this.
A much needed boost.
They just brought more people in. Yeah, so now it's completely impossible for me to do anything here. My guards, yes, I can't do anything here. Like, there's no, as far as I know, there's no, like, retreat, right? Like, I can't just say, get me out of here.
Volpan? Volpan? Volpan! He'll be back.
Yeah, and that's basically how it went last time, too. So, it's... I think they need some work on their design. I think that's what it really comes down to here. Is it's a great concept for a game. It's not designed very well. Like, there's not enough player agency here to really justify the layout. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm just completely stuck. I can't progress forward. Now, obviously, I could pick other pathway, and maybe that's what they want you to do. But at the same time, you're at such a huge disadvantage where you have just 1 character instead of 2 that you start out with, that it almost makes it not worth playing, right? It's like, you know, I was enjoying the game when I had 2 characters because they could sort of synergize together a little bit, and it gave me some different options here and there. But then when they throw you into the scenario where it's just the 1 character and you know, a ton of enemies, it really doesn't sit well. It just doesn't work. It simply does not work the way they have it right now. And obviously this is a demo, so, you know, by all means, hopefully they are working on this. I'd imagine if there's going to be some kind of release in the summer here, it's going to be probably in early access because the game needs some work, based on what I've seen here. There's a good foundation here, and it's a good idea, but it's not, the choices are not diverse enough. The locations are not really diverse enough either. Like, you know, everything comes down to either you can pay money, or you can pay fame, or you can pay Grim, right? And occasionally you'll run across some NPCs that may or may not help sometimes, but in reality, it's all just the same sort of 3 decisions. Do you use a skill? Do you use something from your inventory? And it's really not where there should be depth, there's not. and that's what's kind of weird about it. Like normally I'm cool with games that have, you know, just a few mechanics here and there, and but they find good, you know, exciting ways to make them, you know, very deep ways of using those mechanics. This game kind of fails at both things. Like it gives you a little too much to look at on the screen, and it presents an illusion of choice but never really follows through on it, which is unfortunate because I really like what's here, and I hope that they're working diligently on all these things that I've said, because I think this could become a really fun and cool game. It's just not anywhere near there right now. But that has been, my friends, Foretales. It is by Alchemy and published by Dear Villagers. It's a free demo right now out on Steam. Hopefully they'll keep the demo up for a little while, and you'll be able to take a look at it. As always, I will leave links down in the description so you can do your own due diligence. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you